Hey guys, welcome back. So I'm back in London after a nice weekend away in France. It was fantastic. What I wanted to tell you today is something very interesting. I was at a cash point getting some money, as one does, and the cash point machine next to me just spurted out a lot of money. And I was thinking, what should I do? So I stood there for a few seconds, I don't know how long, but waited to see if someone would come back. Maybe someone forgot to take the money out. Nothing. So I pulled the money out, and I knew which cash machine it is, which bank it belongs to. Went up to the security guard who was in that shopping mall to say, this machine has given me some money, and would you please keep an eye out for anyone who comes back looking for their money? And he was like, yeah, sure. Why don't you give me the money and I will give it to our security office and they will keep it for whoever comes. I was like, well, I know this is HSBC machine. Therefore, there's an HSBC across down basically next to the machine. So I went into the branch and they're like, well, it could be anyone from any bank who could have taken the money out and walked away without taking the cash, so we wouldn't know whose account this is. And I was just like, this is so ridiculous. Someone's going to be charged for taking this money out and no one has a way of giving it back. So then I went to the security people and I told them that, look, if someone comes back, can you please point them to the bank? And at the bank I asked them to speak to a manager. Obviously all managers are always busy. They're not doing anything, just walking around looking important. Anyway, after waiting for 5 minutes, she turned up and took the money, gave me a little note on a normal piece of paper saying that she's taken this much money from me, and basically that was it. So I don't actually know, very narrow, don't actually know what they do in situations like that. So will they charge the customer, or will they somehow return the money? Because now the money came out from an HSBC bank cash machine, so, and it went back to HSBC, but how does the customer get the money back? I don't know. Anyhow, one of my friends was telling me that I should not have touched the money, I should have just left it there, because after a while the machine takes the money back. I didn't know that, but if it does, that would be great. But it's just bizarre that they don't have a system of checking with all these cameras, and they should just be able to go into the machine and see who took the money out and what was the last transaction for that amount. Because it wasn't like it was £20 that everyone's taking out £20 and you wouldn't know who did or didn't. So yeah, the woman was saying, oh, I'm very surprised that you brought the money back, most people wouldn't. And I was like, most people would, very few people wouldn't. And I think it would be a very sad world if everyone was dishonest. The thing is, I've had so many experiences in my life where I've done things and never got gratitude or anyone saying thank you for doing something good, but then the thank you is always in the form of someone else doing something for you. And I lost my wallet once on the tube. Basically, I put it on my inside pocket and it fell through. When I got to the other side, I wanted to tap it to get out of the tube, I realized I didn't have my wallet, so I was like, oh gosh, I must have dropped it. So I went back to the first station where I'd used it the last time, and someone had handed it in. So that was so amazing that it had all the money, the cards, everything. And that's the key thing. If you're honest and a decent person, what goes around comes around. So yeah, that was the story of the money.